Hey y'all, it is March the 23rd, 2025. Today marks the second day in a row that we've gotten together for the Fckery. We got Maitre Mark in the damn building. That's insane. I'll tell you why. It says I have 0 people in the building. Somehow, Maitre Mark up in the building. Unbelievable. You know, speaking of that, speaking of Maitre Mark, I'd like to wish him a good morning or whatever it is over there. I was going to bring it up on yesterday's Fckery, but I think that I might have forgotten. I think I might have brought it up in the first video, the first live stream that I tried to do yesterday. I think I might have brought it up. But that was for some reason digital garbage and it didn't work and people couldn't hear me and this and that. So we cut it off. It's 11:39 a.m. over there in Markrovia. The thing is, I'm curious to know what it is you're doing over there. You know, perhaps you're getting a nice little light lunch in or something. Maybe it ain't no time for lunch. Maybe it's just all running and gunning. All right. Not literally, before YouTube gets upset with me. But on yesterday's Fckery, I wanted to bring up the Stone Phoenix. If I'm correct, and that's what it's called. Kind of reminds me of them Stone Temple Pilots. Right? Kind of reminds me of Indiana Jones or something. So, unless I'm mistaken, I believe this preliminary Stone Phoenix Festival, something like that, took place a couple of days ago. Yup, the Stone Phoenix. We got confirmation. And, I already knew about it. It's coming up. I knew I wouldn't be able to make it out all the way over there, not by this time. So I'd actually forgotten on what date it was taking place. And then I checked back up on it yesterday. And in fact, that's when the action supposedly went down. I was checking out Maitre Mark's channel the other day. I don't know if there's anything posted up on it today as far as some of that action. So you can play next year. Oh, I just can't wait. And so, more or less, I'm figuring that it might be, oh, hell yeah, it might be like somewhere around a year from now. You know, that sort of time frame would be the next Stone Phoenix. All right. It's going down like you just wouldn't believe, I'm sure. All right. It's going to be the end of the world, how it's going to work out. Maitre Mark said he uploaded a short video in an hour or so, or he's trying to upload, might take an hour. Gosh, man, I know how that is. Sometimes it take an hour. I don't know if it's an hour for the upload and also for the editing, or if it's just for the upload. That's a crying shame if it's just for the upload. Maitre Mark said 1 year from now, and I'm invited. And if you're not invited, if you come across this recording and you're just not invited, I would sincerely take a look at your life and the choices you've made and how it could be turned around, but you're going to have to turn it around. You're going to have to ask for help from Jesus. And I'm pretty sure that's the only way. An hour for the edit, and then the lightning fast upload, probably using something like Starlink or something. I hear about that, the Starlink. I don't know if I'm just making it up, but Starlink, you only pay for it one time. You get some sort of gadget, and guess what? You got the internet forever through satellites. I'd like to recommend Starlink right now. I don't have it, but once I get it, I'll know for sure, if I do get it, how good it is. All right. I believe Starlink should sponsor me for stuff like that. Perhaps I want to be a sponsor of the Stone Phoenix the next time around. I say that almost in jest. Not really. If it's badass, then I like it. All right. I'm very particular. I bet you that you're very particular out there. All right. You may or may not have noticed that my hair looks gorgeous. Have you noticed that? I'll duck my head down for you to notice this. Look at this. Just gorgeous. I'll have you know, I haven't even taken a shower today. It's just how it looks, right? Fantastic. Yeah, I got a good hair cutter. Great barber, all right, by the name of Juju. And he does a good job, but if you were there noticing the gorgeousness of my hair, let me take a moment just to agree with you right now that it is pretty badass, but it's not just because. I mean, I got a lot of good genes in that way, sure, but it wouldn't just look like this. If it wasn't for certain product, and I just want to talk about it very briefly. You know, the other day, I was talking with my barber named Juju, and we had somehow come. I think I had brought up Ryan Garcia. He's the boxer, the famous boxer that you might know. I don't know exactly why I brought him up, and then my barber, he brought up that what he heard was Ryan Garcia puts lotion in his hair, and that's how he gets his hair all shiny and nice the way that it is. I don't know if that's true or if my barber, misheard that or whatever. But he was telling me that. And then I let him know that, whatever gets the job done, I guess that's what it is. It is what it is. Whatever floats your boat and tickles your pickle. But I told him, me personally, I let my barber in on a little secret. I said that I actually put beard balm in my hair. I don't know if you ever heard of that. But at the grocery store in which I go to, there's many, many different various products you could put in your hair. And like I said, beard balm, it's for your beard. Right? I might read backwards. But I actually have a can right here. The best damn beard balm is what it's called. And it's by a company named Duke Cannon. Shout out to Duke Cannon. I was actually in a men's warehouse the other day, returning a tuxedo from a wedding in which I was the best man present at that wedding. I happened to notice that at the men's warehouse, they had a whole line of Duke Cannon. All right, they had the whole line of it set up right there, just in case that's what you're looking for. Maytre Mark says, your hair looks like my old Steve Austin $6 million man figure. Thank you. Thank you very much. I got a $6 million man haircut right here. Haven't even showered today. It's just all slick. That's the thing about it. You get unorthodox. All right, I'll have you know that I'm the guy to talk to. Duke Cannon ought to give me some freaking money. All right, either them or somebody else. That's what I'm aiming for long term. Why? Because I'm some sort of an expert. That's why. A lot of people like what they like and they like it a whole lot and they will not compromise for whatever reason. The reason I picked Best Damn Beard Balm, you might not know about this, is I go to the grocery store, and whenever I go to the grocery store and I buy something and I'm not aware of what's in the ingredients, I'll flip that bad boy over, take a look at the ingredients, take a long, hard look. All right, you might call me a Maha American, but I'm trying to get my health good. Right. And furthermore than just that, yeah, I'm trying to be health conscious. Yeah. But I'm pissed off. I'm more than offended by people, dude. If you go to the store and you turn over every hair product thing and take a good long look at it, you are inevitably going to find alien gobbledygook, just total jibber jabber on the back of the damn can with like little signal code words with like just letters and numbers and hyphens and stuff on what I can only assume would be some sort of petroleum derivatives that they're dumping into all the hair care products. I just won't stand for it. And this goes for everything that I get at the grocery store. I mean, if it's not a produce or the meat or whatnot, I need to know, you son of a bitch. I need to know what's in there because seemingly everybody just doesn't have a care in the world. So after reviewing the various different hair care products, I saw this canister. It claimed to be the best damn one in the world. Best damn one. I said, oh, I'll see about that. Turned it over, looked at the ingredients. You want to know the ingredients? Shea butter, lanolin oil, beeswax, apricot kernel oil, argan oil, cocoa butter, jojoba oil, orange essential oil, fragrance, clove, essential oil and vitamin E, rosemary extract, candula extract, and that's about it. I could wrap my brain around those things. I've heard of most of those things. I want that. I want to buy it, and I don't want anything else. That's the thing about it. Not only do I want those ingredients for my hair to look fantastic, but I don't want anything else. I'm particularly offended when you try to sneak whatever in there. And shout out to the people throughout history because there's people, unsung heroes in America, and I'm sure in Europe and over there in Australia and stuff. There's people who we don't even know their names for decades and decades and decades now who have been lobbying the government and making sure that every last fucking ingredient is put on the back of this hair product. All right, because I have a sneaky suspicion that the people who want to sneak in whatever into our hair care products, into our skincare products, I have a sneaky suspicion if we didn't demand that they put every ingredient on the bottle, then they would do everything they could to hide it. Why wouldn't they hide it? No, for decades and decades, they've been lobbying to hide everything. They'd rather not even have an ingredients list. They'd rather give us whatever garbage poison to put on our bodies and on our heads and say, fuck it, dude. Well, how come these people give a damn what we're putting in to their products? But it's because of these heroes throughout the generations who, I don't know any of their names, who have fought tooth and nail to make sure that these companies can't just go around putting whatever they want into the product. There's certain companies, like it seems like Duke Cannon. I'll let you know when I find out different. It's certain companies who give a damn, who they could easily put petroleum derivative gobbledygook into their product, and they don't. And I appreciate the shit out of that, the effort involved, the fact is that you even care enough to give me what I paid for and keep all that bullshit that I didn't pay for. I appreciate Duke Cannon for that. And I just want to say, I don't know how it's all going to work out. Of course, I would love for Duke Cannon to start sending me free beard balms, dude. I love your bourbon scented beard balm as well. I like that even better. I would love for them to send me that, send me money, all sort of things. I'm telling you, until further notice, this is the best in the world. Do you see my hair? Doesn't even go in beards, but I put it in my hair anyways. If you have hair like mine, you want this, because here's the thing. Look at it. It ain't going nowhere. If it was breezy outside, it would be doing a little something, but it wouldn't be going nowhere. It's got delicious hold. It's got like immaculate shine. It is not hard at all. This is not hard. Yeah. It's walking through like I'm damn Jimmy Johnson up in here. Right? Untouchable. And the thing is, for the bulk of my lifetime, you would assume that people, they can't just give me money. How can I be the face of Duke Cannon? How can I be affiliated with Duke Cannon? I done said the N-word on the internet probably. And all sort of things, and everything that I say is just outrageous, it seems. But I do think that a way is being paved, basically, it's being pioneered already. Shout out to Ye, artist formerly known as Kanye West. Shout out to a lot of people. Shout out to my man Tekashi 6ix9ine. Y'all may or may not remember he got sponsored by Skittles for a brief period until they dropped him, but he got sponsored by Skittles after he got out of prison. And as you might imagine, Skittles money is some good ass money. Skittles will pay the shit out of you. And that's what they did with Tekashi 6ix9ine. The thing is, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's my guy. I'm not trying to say nothing about him, derogatory or anything, but he was into way more shit than I've been caught for. All right, that's the thing about it. I've kind of debated in my head whether or not a company can even sign on to my rhetoric, and that's the thing. Duke Cannon has no, they're not influencing me to have such toxic masculinity. It has nothing to do with it. It's only for my hair, and they make it look real good. And so with that being said, I am going to talk all the things that I know are the best, and I know it. I'm going to tell you about it, right? And they might not never give me money, but you know what? If I find someone better than you, I'll scratch you out. I only want the best. If you're not first, you are last here in America. I don't want, me personally, I call me what you will and stuff. People might think any sort of thing. I don't want to be affiliated with you if you are not the best. If I find out someone's better than you, I will throw you under the bus and I will go for what's the best. How come you're not the best? Can you tell me that? How come they're the best and you're not the best? I want only the best. Right? And I'm damn particular about it as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Just bring it up, keep bringing it up, keep bringing it up until someone gives me money, and they damn well should. Okay. I'll tell you about other products, on another broadcast. I think that's pretty good. There's a lot of other products, right? So I wanted to bring up something First of all, the Stone Phoenix festivities, I can't wait to check them out. I'm going to check them out, as soon as they're uploaded, hopefully sometime tonight. I do look forward to that. The last broadcast that we had, the last of the Fckeries. Now, I want to explain that it's pretty much exactly how it sounds. You might be over there, perhaps you're over there, and you're thinking to yourself, what is the Fckery? And if you're asking yourself that question, obviously you just don't know. That's the most simplest way I can put it. If I tell you it's the Fckery, and you automatically know, well, then you already know. You know what it is. I don't have to say any other words. But for those out there who might be confused, what is the Fckery? It's more or less us fucking around. All right, it seems pretty straightforward. I don't know what we're going to get into necessarily. I've tried knowing what we're going to get into before. That's a very tough thing to do. I mean, it's not tough, but it's tough for my personality. Once I've decided, what I want to talk about, and I try to get ready to talk about it, don't you know that as soon as I start the broadcast, that's the last thing on earth I want to talk about. That's how it works. I get my mind all built up, like I'm going to talk about this, and then I just don't even want to talk about it. So it's like, it seems in this situation more reasonable to get online. You see my dumb face, you see my gorgeous hair. You wonder, how did it get like that? Duke Cannon Beard Balm is the best damn beard balm in the world. I put it in my hair. But you're over here asking, what the Fckery is going on? I don't even know. We're trying to figure that out. Right? I'm excited to find out. I will mention that on the last Fckery that we did yesterday, our man, Andrew Trevino, for some reason he has his whole name up on the internet. I mean, I just said his whole name. Thing is, there's like 2 billion Andrew Trevinos in Texas alone. So it's a kind of hard guy to find, to be honest with you, but it's just like, Anyways, he said that Trump was talking some trash. Now, to this very moment, I haven't heard Trump say anything to this very moment, but I spent about 2 hours or so earlier while I was fixing some food, for tomorrow to be prepared for my lunch. I was doing that sort of stuff, eating dinner, listening to Alex Jones for about 2 hours. On a Sunday broadcast, he talked about almost exclusively how Donald Trump had said something about us perhaps becoming up under the Commonwealth of the UK. Now, out of the 4 people who's watching me right now, I'm sure that one of them is a Russian robot. But out of the other 3, I do wonder how many of them have even heard about this, have some sort of objection to this. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what Trump's getting at. I still haven't heard him talk about it. I heard he went on his Truth Social and started dropping some weird stuff. Alex Jones was talking all about it. He talked for hours, 2 hours. He took calls about it and stuff like that. I don't see it happening, but wouldn't it be something if it did happen? And that's just how we heard about it. Some Saturday afternoon, Trump was like, hey, guess what? We're going to just do this now. And somehow figured out a way for us to do something else. Just like quite obviously compromising the whole purpose behind America. If that was the case, I mean, I would assume Alex Jones talked about it at great length, all right, with all sort of details. But me over here with my simple brain, I would just assume there is no 4th of July after that. There is no Constitution after that. Wouldn't that be the case? Wouldn't the Constitution be the King of England? Wouldn't he thereby be the Constitution now? Let me just say, I don't like that idea. There's a lot of people who would, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of people would hate on Trump even for proposing such an idea. I was going to say about the leftist transgenders out there who are out there bombing Tesla dealerships. First of all, I would recommend that they just settle down. But also, I wonder if they would like to be under the Commonwealth of the UK or what the fuck. I don't know what they think about it. Perhaps it doesn't matter. Perhaps it is a way of trolling. And if so, we will receive the punchline here shortly from the Trump trolling. He's a hell of a troll. It's hard to tell sometimes. And that is the nature of trolling anyways. I see it more than impossible. I think it would be more than impossible. I don't know why the hell we're even talking about this. But that's all I know about the situation thus far. I will bring up the stock market. I don't know anything about the stock market either. But from what I heard, and it's been a kind of something that's the ball's already turning, is that the stock market is fixing to take some sort of big plunge. And whatever big plunge that it's being steered into is meant to cause unrest. It's meant to cause uneasiness. And I would say, due to many factors, this is what we have to look forward to. I think it's obvious. I don't know who I'm telling this to. It's obvious that we got rough times ahead. And so, gosh, it's tough. It's tough. We're all individuals, might I suggest. And as individuals, perhaps we'll have to stand up for whatever things we believe in, if we believe in them strong enough. Be a voice for those things. Speak out for those things. But in the chaos and the melee fixing to be all around our asses, I, to this point, want to say that, Donald Trump says something, I'm going with it at least for a little while. Right? I'm going to give him a shot, benefit of the doubt. There is no way that this goes over smoothly, so that when we do hit turbulence, I'm not going to be jumping ship like a lot of people are going to be jumping ship. They don't want turbulence. It's very scary. All right. And certainly that's what the stock market is made of, is very scared people. I don't know how y'all feel about the stock market, but I think it's just like the crypto markets in certain senses, and in that there's plenty of people losing money, scared people, losers who are going to lose their money and then turn around and call it a scam. It is a scam. It's a scam to take your money. There are smarter people in the stock market and in crypto who are going to take your money, and you're a loser, and they're a winner in that sense. All right? And it's fear. It's fear that causes people to be losers. That's the thing about it. I don't particularly like Warren Buffett, but I'm told that Warren Buffett, he said he's got a famous quote that when people are afraid, that's when you buy. And then when something else or other, that's when you sell and you make lots of money. I forget what it was. So I expect that sort of stuff to happen. Anybody who doesn't expect that sort of stuff to happen right now is a retarded. And most people are retarded, right? So they're going to trip out. One thing that I heard about, and I think this might well be breaking a little bit. It might be a little bit not as well known, or maybe it is. I don't know. I was hearing about the pyramids. Have y'all heard about the pyramids recently? And I was remarking just a little while ago in my head, history is different depending on wherever you go. You're going to get taught different history. So I'll have y'all know that when I was coming up and younger, and it may not be the same way now, but it was that kind of way for a while. They would tell us in history, oh, pyramids, the pyramids over here, pyramids over there. They mentioned South American pyramids, but not nearly as much as they mentioned Egyptian pyramids. The reason I bring it up is because, the Egyptian pyramids, that's certainly a spectacle, but they say that the South American pyramids are even way bigger. So it's like, why don't you talk about them as much? The reason is because they're carefully trying to control history in the minds of children, shaping the knowledge that you do have into whatever the fuck they want in your head. So certain things get left out. But you do hear about the Egyptian pyramids, so you do hear about one Holocaust, and that's it. So I think this is in reference to some of these Middle Eastern pyramids. They're saying, I don't know who's saying it and why and how credible, but this kind of ties into this whole Stone Phoenix movement. They're saying that the pyramids may very well have columns under the ground. And if I'm picturing it correctly in my head, that means the pyramid is the top of the structure. Underneath it is actually large columns holding that shit up. I don't know if they're right. I'm just saying it's like the breaking thing. And what if they were right? If they were right, that would be fucking terrifying, I think. Just to think that people are capable of doing this. Who made them capable of doing this? Can you imagine that structure? Those big pyramids? How much that must weigh? How would you hold that up with columns? Columns of what size? So if that was to become true, I think it's fascinating. It might just be bullshitting around. But if that was true, wouldn't that be damn fascinating? And then what? How does columns that big just go under the earth and be hidden from our from our knowledge for hundreds of years? In fact, I mean, that would point to some sort of mud flood. Am I right? They don't have mud in Egypt, but some sort of Tartarian flood or something. What the hell? How is it even possible? I don't know if I'm totally making that up, but I might be. We got Andrew Trevino up in the building. He's the one that introduced us to this whole notion that Donald Trump wants to sell us out to the UK, or in particular, the royal family. Um, he said that he doesn't believe that they are columns holding it up. And so, because he said that, I would assume that means he's heard about what we're talking about. And Andrew Trevino hears about shit exactly when it happens, no matter what it is on Earth. I mean, it's just so freaky how he's already heard of this and already judged it as some sort of malarkey. He says he doesn't believe that his column's holding it up. There's a lot of copper down there. They got a lot of copper down there. So they better keep the rednecks from around there who take that copper and try to sell it. So there's a lot of copper down there. And so they used a process called electrolysis and resonance to convert energy. What the flip? I've heard about certain things like this. And to certain extents, being able to harness energy through batteries made by like clay pots and shit. I wonder if that's what the hell we're talking about. And copper, which obviously would take some sort of metallurgy or whatever it's called. Some blacksmithing. Andrew Trevino said they weren't per se under the earth, but there is an aquifer underneath that was used in a bunch of aqueducts to keep the aquifer levels high. I gotta say, in this situation, we're just taking Andrew Trevino's word for it, but he's a very learned guy. A lot of what he's saying are big old, just smart words. All right. But to take Andrew Trevino and what he's saying, if I could put it up on the screen, I don't even think that's what the hell I was trying to do. Put this up on the screen. That there wasn't columns up under the earth. It's an aquifer underneath, and they used a bunch of stuff. God, man, all these comments are coming in. So, might I just say, while I'm trying to understand the concepts that are being articulated here, might I just say, that sounds wild. These Egyptians, I know people have already come to this conclusion, but it seems goddamn obvious now at this point that throughout history of all these so-called primitive people who didn't have toilet paper to wipe their asses, all these people coming up with such technological breakthroughs that it just seems whimsical. It seems fantastical. Oh, they knew how to keep their aquifer levels high by doing this and that. And it's like, wow, y'all figured out a lot of shit. How did you do it? Was everybody just so smart? How did people become so dumb? We don't know how to do. I didn't even know you were capable of this. I mean, this is all just, something to play around with in our heads. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps we'll be able to sift through history and reverse engineer all our slavitude. I don't know if I'm even saying words. What I'm saying is, gosh, man, certain things being kept from the public. I'm insane for even thinking that they exist, but they quite obviously exist. And everything else that's so whimsical, fantastical, all that shit existed as well. There is zero reason why an American or anybody in any country is paying money for electricity, right? But this is to obviously keep us enslaved. Andrew Trevino is over there. He says it is, I guess, under the earth, but it's supposed to help convert to energy. The Pyramid of Khufu, I thought it said Kung Fu. The Pyramid of Khufu is toned to an uh, F note, perfect harmony in the earth vibration. I mean, dude, it's at a certain point that the debate is whether or not everybody was just extreme, out of control geniuses who were just taking whatever drug, didn't give a damn, right? Or aliens came up from under the ocean where they reside, gave people all sort of damn technology that just was unprecedented. We still haven't caught up to the technology, and then they crept down up under the ocean. So either that or a mixture of the two. It's like flat earth, round earth, doesn't matter. We've been lied to about everything, and we figured out that they're lying. I'm hopeful about that because, we figured it out that they're lying. That means don't trust these motherfuckers. The same motherfuckers blowing and spraying shit all up in our skies. Don't want to talk about it. Andrew Trevino said Nikola Tesla tried to duplicate their idea with tech available to that day. Heard plenty about this Nikola Tesla fella. Smart fella. Now it's just throwing words at me. Warden Cliff Tower. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, buddy. Is that a tower that it's like the Khufu pyramid somehow? Is singing notes and stuff, and also creating free energy for the people. These people are so damn smart. Andrew Trevino says primitive is a modern day term for lack of toilet paper. Them niggas back then, they were fucking geniuses of the mind. And I'm starting to believe so as well. Who's to say why and how? Two things come to mind, actually, when thinking about those niggas back there. They didn't have no toilet paper. Number one, before I talk about the two things, toilet paper. See, we make fun of South Americans and sometimes Mexicans. They don't understand plumbing. They didn't have good plumbing. So Americans make fun of them, say, oh, they don't even know how to use toilet paper, or they don't know how to put it in the toilet. You, sir, are a barbarian. And I've been saying this now for years. What kind of animal, I say that in jest, uses toilet paper? This is retarded. How can we possibly be made to use toilet paper still in 2025? Some people just like, oh, they think I'm being a little bit too offensive or judgmental. Go wipe your ass. All right. It's not something nobody wants to do, but go take a poop in public. All right. Go wipe your ass as good as you can. Do it for like 10 minutes. All right. You're going to notice that the job is never, ever done. And then if you were wiping your ass for 10 minutes, I want you to then be a human being on my level in 2025. Get you some wipes. They're not expensive. And wipe your ass. I think what you'll find 1,000 times out of 1,000 is you did not wipe your ass as good as you thought. Just every single time. This is science. How dare anybody deny science around me? Right? But see, we've been lied to in so many damn ways. All right, so they say, oh, they didn't have toilet paper. I bet you they had a better way of cleaning their asses. I bet you their asses weren't so dirty as American asses must have been in the 80s, in the 90s. Dirty poo butt asses walking around. Oh, you think you're civilized all throughout the 90s. You know, either walking around riding dirty or perhaps taking a shower 2 or 3 times a day. It's preposterous. There's plenty of things going on, and might I add that none of those things matter. None of this matters. It's not important. I want to suggest for people out there, first of all, don't listen to me. I don't know anything about your life, but let me just suggest that whatever you were thinking about today, that might have been on your mind and you were like worried about it or concerned about it, doesn't even matter. Who cares? It's not important. All right, and it is important in our heads, obviously. That's where it takes place, in our heads. The reason I say it is because as time plays out, as time progresses, as the world turns or spins or whatever it does, whatever the world does, that you're going to find out that it's all going to be all right. And it's all going to work out for the best. All right? Talking about calamity, malarkey. I guess it's kind of fun. We could do this forever and ever with all the nonsense that we can find on Twitter. But instead, just poke a little fun at some of the stuff. Realize it's going to be a very rough road. Oh, we're going to have to adapt. And it just is what it is. So people out here, see, the thing is, it is what it is. We know it's coming, whatever is coming. There's people out here who don't really realize why. They don't really realize it. Right? And they lose sight of their own macho madness. It's a damn shame. There's one more thing I saw on X today. A number of people were mentioning it. Soda pop. Have you heard about that? Soda pop. A nice cold can of soda pop. They were talking about that on X a lot. I guess lobbyists doing this, doing that on X. Or in the government being talked about on X. I'm not sure what exactly they were getting at. I didn't dive into it very much, but I noticed that they were talking about it. Number one, I feel like soda pop is the least of everybody's problems right now. Probably. But furthermore, as I've known for a while, it is toxic garbage that you're putting in you. And not because it has to be, because they wish for it to be. All these soda pop companies have gone out of their way to make sure the soda pop is of piss poor quality, especially in America. That's quite offensive. All right, and I don't know much about this soda pop debacle, but let me also say that human beings are soft, sweet-toothed, lazy, dirty bums or something, and addicted. They become addicted to sugary water. is twist out your sugary water for high fructose corn syrup and aspartame and stuff like that. And so like the other day, Alex Jones pointed out that aspartame is the byproduct of E. coli taking a shit. I don't know if that's exactly right, but it probably is, knowing what I've heard about even high fructose corn syrup. E. coli bacteria is taking a poop, and then it's so sweet, tastes so sweet for you, and you get addicted. It's not even sugar. But they put little poops in your Diet Coke. And then Donald Trump is guzzling it down. Alex Jones says, hey, Trump, you're guzzling E. coli feces. And then he turned to Alex Jones and say, you crazy, dirty nutball. Meanwhile, that's pretty much what's happening. I think that's pretty interesting. We're definitely winding it down at this point tonight, all right, in the last few minutes. I guess I'll mention something that I reminded myself of, and something that I talk about, something we're going to have to talk about a lot, is that man losing their macho madness. A man with adequate macho madness is probably not talking about soda pop lobbyists on X, or maybe they are sometimes. I wanted to bring it up. I just helped and assisted my man to get married this week. He got married over there on a honeymoon right now. Wishing him the best. All right, anything that I could do to help, I'm here to do it. All right, but I'm an outsider peering in, seeing how all these men are relinquishing their macho madness, and they're doing it largely because they think it's the right thing to do. You know, they've been programmed to accept things a certain kind of way. A certain kind of way that God himself would not appreciate is what I'm suggesting. I don't really know. It's 5 people up in the building. Let me just say I appreciate y'all. But as we try to figure it out, we're going to talk about it more later. All right. The things that men do, because we're supposed to do it. Meanwhile, did you know your girl, her vagina is drying up? It's drying up every time. Certain things you do, you're supposed to do it because that's what a man would do. That's what a good man would do. Aren't you a good man? Get you patted on the head. Aren't you good? I'm going to give you a treat and stuff. Certain things that you do that are inevitably going to get that woman totally unaroused. But lots of men out there don't even care if she's unaroused. My deal is like, now that I've lived life enough, the last thing I want is a woman around me in my intimate areas, and you're not aroused. You need to leave. Right? But people are tricked. These men are tricked and trapped and trained to give up all of their sovereignty, which, by the way, doesn't necessarily benefit others when you do that. And one person I noticed, I wonder how people feel about her out there, because I noticed that she's very popular, but a lot of people don't like her. There's some people out there who do like her. She's got a pretty decent following. It's a lady by the name of Pearl Davis. And online, like on YouTube and stuff, you can find her on uh, like Just Pearly Things. I believe Just Pearly Things, because her name's Pearl. And the main criticism that I've heard people giving her various criticisms. Like, for example, I've heard people call her a racist bigot. All right, so various different other accusations thrown her way. The most main one that people say is that Pearl has created a niche for herself, a little corner of the internet for herself, in which she doesn't never really say anything except that women are bad. And so plenty of people find that offensive, and other people just find it unproductive. That women are bad. Everything she says, the information that she provides the internet, all kind of point that direction. Women are bad. And I get why she's a polarizing figure. To this moment, I still ride with my girl, Pearl Davis. And that I still, to this day, have not ever heard her say anything egregiously incorrect. And so, a logical mind might come to the conclusion that I also think that women are bad. I just want to state, as I stated before emphatically, human beings are bad. It says this in the Bible. Well, are women human beings? Yeah, they are. They are bad. They're evil. They're cold-blooded. It's important to recognize the different ways in which this is the case. But do I hate on women? Do I that you hate on women? That we should somehow gang up on women and, I don't know, do what with them? I don't know what. I'm not suggesting that. It's kind of hard to hold both those thoughts in my head and in your head. Or to have you think thoughts about my head that are in my thoughts all in my head. And you're thinking about those thoughts. I don't hate them. In fact, I think they're pretty awesome. All right. At the same time, damn near everything they're going to do is evil. And that's just the breaks. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at them. If I were to point out any girl who I've seen around, say they're in a couple, maybe I know this couple, maybe I know the lady, maybe I know the guy or whatever, I'm aware of them. Might I say every single woman has red flags. Every man, you might say, has red flags, but I'm not paying attention to every man. Paying attention to the ladies. They all have red flags. These red flags need to be extinguished. And it's not necessarily going to be through force, because we have laws against that. But the red flags need to be extinguished. My deal is, we're going to pay for it. Certainly. This country is not going to last forever if we're not going to make babies. There's no way we'll make enough babies. Why? In my opinion, we worship women. That's why. To be very simple, and we'll talk more about it later. When you worship women, either you're over there in the corner and you're just like growling and you're like peering over at women and you're like thinking weird thoughts in your head when you worship women. Either that or you're trying to become very attractive to women. And I can't blame anyone for wanting to be very attractive to women. What are the kind of things women like? They might not tell you. Maybe they will tell you. Maybe they'll tell their girlfriends. Maybe they'll banter on the internet to listen to them. What do they find attractive? It's very simple. It's nothing real complex. Every guy knows. You want him to be tall. You want him to be handsome. You want him to not only have a sense of humor, but to be able to speak in public with authority. You know, you want him to have money. You want him to make good money somehow. Be a provider. These are things that are attractive to women. But as my man Myron Gaines has said plenty of times, shout out to him, these things are attractive to women. They're not arousing to women. And that's where you lose women. You can be as attractive as you want to be. What's important is what is arousing that woman. And when we're thinking about, that's the thing about it, if you're thinking about what's arousing to a woman, you will find that you soon have to move away from being so attractive to a woman. It's not about what's attractive. It's about what's arousing. You're not going to be able to worship women if you realize, as many men already have, that what's attractive is not necessarily arousing at all. And lots of times they're complete different, opposite, or even non-related things. So in a hypothetical world in which we go and we do have all sort of babies and we somehow save the country, I'm not betting on that, but it is possible. Men would have to focus more on what arouses women. And, if that were the case, I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot of different variables that come to light. One being that men would do whatever the fuck we wanted to do, whenever we wanted to do it. We live in a world, in a country right now, where so many men have said so many things, such as happy wife, happy life, such as, oh, I got to talk to the boss. Oh, such as, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I gotta tell my wife that maybe I can do this. It's like, women find that attractive. And at the very beginning of their control over you, they're always trying to get control. They might even find it arousing how much control they have over you. That arousal will die in the end. Was it worth it? You wanted easy access to a vagina. Did that work out for you? I think a lot of men are going to say no, and I feel you on that. I've walked the same path. I've made the same bad choices. And, I'm just here to suggest maybe we got to take our manhood back. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe for the babies, maybe for the potential babies. I'll holler at y'all maybe tomorrow with a brief round of Fckery, and I want y'all to let me know what it is we should fuck around about and find out about tomorrow. All right, so I'll holler at y'all. I don't know, it's going to be probably early evening. I go to bed early, you know what I'm saying? Some of that early evening tomfoolery. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.